terrible weekend of deadly storms. 42 Americans were killed in tornadoes and wildfires in several states. And while the devastation was happening, our commander-in-chief meteorologist was back at Mar-a-Lago, again playing golf. As the storms raged, he offered these words of comfort to those who lost their families and their homes. He wrote, "I just won the golf club championship, probably my last, at Trump International Golf Club in Palm Beach County, Florida. Such a great honor. The awards dinner is tonight at the club. I want to thank the wonderful golf staff and all of the many fantastic golfers that participated in the event. Such fun."
YouTube has terminated our main channel with millions of views just for telling the truth. But you can help us regrow by just subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and commenting down below. Thank you. On Trump playing golf during deadly storms. Trump's boasting about winning his own golf tournament while Americans were dying in tornadoes perfectly encapsulates his priorities. Self-congratulation first, presidential duties second.
Indeed. This, of course, comes after Trump chided Joe Biden last year for being on vacation during Hurricane Helene. If you scored hypocrisy like golf, he'd be 30 strokes under par right now. Can you imagine if Biden bragged about winning a golf tournament during a disaster? Sean Hannity would have a rage boner for weeks. But I don't want to, you know what?
On Trump's hypocrisy regarding Biden and natural disasters. The same man who attacked Biden for being on vacation during a hurricane now celebrates his golf victory as Americans lose their homes and lives. The hypocrisy is as predictable as it is callous.
Play the ref. You know what playing the ref is? Like the great Bobby Knight basketball coach. He'd scream and scream at the ref. He'd scream. He had been known for throwing the chair across the court and slapping a player. Coach, don't do that. Don't do it. And that's when he threw the chair. He starts going crazy. I don't care. Do you know Bobby Knight? Bobby Knight. By the way, I love Bobby Knight. He'd scream at the ref. He would play the ref. He would play the ref. Playing the ref. Bobby Knight would play the ref. That's why I brought up the Bobby Knight story.
Oh, is that? I thought it was dementia,
On Trump's Bobby Knight rambling. His repetitive, meandering Bobby Knight monologue demonstrates a concerning pattern of cognitive issues that's becoming harder for even his supporters to ignore.
This is what he posted at 12:35 a.m. He gets up in the middle of the night, writes, "The pardons that sleepy Joe Biden gave to the unselect committee of political thugs and many others are hereby declared void, vacant, and of no further force or effect because of the fact that they were done by Autopen." In other words, Joe Biden did not sign them, but more importantly, he did not know anything about them. Now, Autopen is this device every modern White House uses, including Trump's, for presidential documents. It's a robot pen that has your signature. Trump's claiming, without any proof, of course, that Biden never actually signed those pardons and didn't know they were. In Trump's opinion, you know, a presidential signature is not official unless it is written in black Sharpie on a woman's chest and or wrist.
On Trump's Autopen claims. Trump's midnight rantings about autopens and pardons reveals both his desperation to undo Biden's legacy and his fundamental misunderstanding of how the government he once led actually works.
200% tariff on champagne and wine. Decision to place tariffs on American whiskey. There's a sob story, all right? We're only doing this because your president started it.
On Trump's tariff threats against Europe. Trump's escalating tariff war with Europe shows a concerning pattern of economic brinkmanship that risks disrupting global markets and harming American consumers who will ultimately bear these costs.
I love Canada. I love the people of Canada. If you look at a map, they drew an artificial line right through it between Canada and the U.S., just a straight artificial line. It's so perfect as a great and cherished state. Keeping "O Canada," the national anthem. I love it. I think it's great. Keep it. But it'll be for the state, one of our greatest states.
On Trump's comments about Canada. Trump's bizarre remarks about Canada becoming the 51st state reflects his transactional view of international relations and shows a troubling disregard for the sovereignty of one of America's closest allies.
Congress has until tomorrow to reach a spending deal before the government shuts down.
On the government shutdown threat. The looming government shutdown represents yet another failure of this governance under this administration, with essential services hanging in the balance while political theater takes the precedent over responsible leadership.
Americans like Thomas Jefferson, Ronald Reagan, Al Bundy, Honey Boo Boo, Chewbacca Mom, the Cash Me Outside Girl, Bad Luck Brian, the Taco Bell Chihuahua, Dramatic Chipmunk, Walmart Yodel Boy.
On Trump's Oval Office redecoration, the reported changes to the Oval Office artwork speak volumes about how Trump views the presidency, less as a solemn responsibility and more as a personal stage for self-aggrandizement.
We're an equal branch of government, and you start off with a blather, and yet we look at the empty seats here. Where's Elon Musk? I'm sure he's a genius and is a very credible person because of the wealth he's accumulated. But that does not put him above the law or the responsibility to come before this committee in this Congress. If he's so great, if these plans and all the fraud and abuse that he's found are so eminent, why isn't he here explaining it? You know why. Because he's out to privatize Social Security. He's been on television the last couple of days talking exactly about Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and what he intends to do. Privatize it. The American people, some of them may have been born at night.
On John Larson challenging Elon Musk's absence from congressional oversight. The strategic absence of Musk from congressional hearings speaks volumes. He's proposing massive changes to America's social safety net without facing questions from our elected representatives.
Men and women on this committee are good people. They're honest and caring people. And that's why I do not understand why you would relegate this committee to no longer being of significance and resort to saying you will do whatever Elon Musk and Donald Trump tell you to do. Where's the independence of the committee? Where's the legislature? We're an equal branch of government, and you start off with a blather, and yet we look at the empty seats here. Where's Elon Musk? I'm sure he's a genius and is a very credible person because of the wealth he's accumulated. But that does not put him above the law or the responsibility to come before this committee in this Congress. If he's so great, if these plans and all the fraud and abuse that he's found are so eminent, why isn't he here explaining it? You know why. Because he's out to privatize Social Security. He's been on television the last couple of days talking exactly about Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and what he intends to do. Privatize it. The American people, some of them may have been born at night, but not last night. People are aware of this. Every single one of your districts. Now you have someone coming in to privatize a system, something you have longed to do going back to 1982, because Elon Musk thinks that this is the best thing to do. President Trump has called Social Security a scam. Elon Musk, as the chairman, as Mr. Neal said, called it a Ponzi scheme. Ask that of the people in your district. Ask that, Mr. Smith, of the more than 198,000 people in your district who rely on Social Security, and you won't even let the person who's planning to privatize it, who's telling the big lie in front of everyone, in bold as he possibly can, saying, this is what we're going to do. The Congress is in our back pocket. We don't even have to come before them and testify because we control the House, we control the Senate, and we control the presidency. And it's the tyranny of the executive. It's why these resolutions were first adopted back in 1789, because the founding fathers knew that the executive branch does not have total authority over the legislature. unless you have a willing party that says, no, we're going to do exactly what you tell us to do, Mr. Musk and Mr. President. It doesn't matter to our constituents. It doesn't matter how much money they are not going to receive. We're not even going to tell them the truth about what's going to happen to them. They administer to over 70 million people in the nation's #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly and children. Shame! Shame! Can't bring people in front of this body? If he's right, if they're so good, if they're so just, why aren't they here telling the American people about it? They're not, because you know the truth. It's about private.
Congressman Larson's fiery takedown exposes a fundamental truth. While Trump and Musk avoid testifying, their actions speak volumes. This isn't just about budget cuts, it's about fundamentally dismantling Social Security through the back door. What we're witnessing is classical political misdirection, gutting an agency's ability to function while claiming to fix it. Firing 70,000 employees, closing field offices, and attempting to end phone services that millions of elderly Americans depend on isn't reform, it's demolition. The rapid reversal after public exposure proves something crucial: accountability works. When elected officials like Larson speak up forcefully and journalism shines a light on these plans, it creates the pressure needed to protect essential services. In today's political climate, daylight remains the best disinfectant.